Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we are taking a deeper dive into our thoughts about Thomas and Camille after Decision Day.
Listen here, make sure y'all go back and check out the main review. We just got done recording that, and now we coming straight back with the deep dive. I want to give a little history on them as a couple, right? Mm-hmm. And I've had my foot on Camille's neck, rightfully so. Right. When it came to questioning, in my opinion, Thomas, how black is he, how black he's not, with these quote unquote microaggressions, in my opinion, that was describing, R&B swag, all these things to basically say, hey, you ain't got no flavor, right? But now, as we get to Decision Day, as we got to some more conversations past that, I would even give Camille a little bail to get out of jail, that maybe those conversations of the earlier episodes were pushed on by the producers. You get what I'm saying? Maybe Camille, because Camille did say out of her mouth, these are not big issues to me, but, an issue is an issue, right? Mm-hmm. So I give her a little bail to get out of jail. But I don't think I'm going to give Thomas any bail to get out of jail based on his decision and based on where we are on Decision Day. Because I think there's something to, hey, Thomas, where are we going to live when Decision Day is 10 days out, or if it's 15 days out, and Thomas basically give hey, I have no problem with compromising, and like, I know you can't live here and I can't live there, so we may have to drive back and forth, but, we will revisit it. Okay, cool, we will revisit it. She told us in the confessional that, hey, his kind of not having an opinion, not leading is kind of concerning. It's alarming. Mm-hmm. Now it's a day or two before Decision Day, and I revisit the conversation. And mind you, these conversations are not, because this is very important, especially when you're in a relationship. These conversations are not coming after an argument. These conversations are not coming after something that that has tension in the room. We're having dinner, something that is light. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I would say if you want to have a hard conversation, it's easy to do it over food. Mm-hmm. So she's having this conversation to basically give off the impression that, hey, 2 days out, a day out, where are we going to live? And he's basically turned the conversation into, well, we need to focus on Decision Day first. It's 2 days from now, right? And I just know, based on what Pastor Cal tells us, that we can't basically live apart because, we basically been in this experience living together, so we can't live apart. But that's what he said. Mm-hmm. But we got to deal with reality. The reality is you can't live with me. I can't live with you. So we just got to deal with it. Yet he gave no opinion again. Right. So now we come to Decision Day. Camille says yes, even though she brought up the fact that, hey, I don't really like the fact that he don't really get in the driver's seat. Hey, I don't really like the fact that he had a 9-year relationship that he let go out. Hey, I don't really like the fact that he's not a leader. But I'm going to say yes. Thomas said, yes, he got on one knee with a basketball, loving basketball. I play for your heart, all that crap, right? Now y'all caught up. I don't see it for him, guys. I'm sorry, right? I don't see it for him. We did a deep dive probably a month ago called Follow the Leader, to where I think Thomas' lack of leadership is going to show up in the marriage, and in the worst way, because I feel like when you're married, you got more to lose. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Do you have anything to add before I give an example real quick?
I kind of just want to touch on the issues that we're seeing, right?
Okay, help me.
So the fact that Camille is more of a take charge leadership person in her everyday life, and she doesn't want to have to carry that hat into her relationship. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Thomas is 42 years old, and he has talked about how he has had issues when it comes to making decisions, getting the ball rolling, actually taking charge and initiative when it comes to situations and even relationships. He had that 9-year relationship that just fizzled out. He talked about how he wouldn't want the same thing to happen in his current relationship of either one of them just stop trying. Mm-hmm. And I think that one of the reasons that Camille decided to stay with Thomas is partially because of her history and saying that she had been through some terrible experiences with men. Yeah. And the good in Thomas may outweigh the bad for her when it comes to the fact that he's nice to me. He's a good sport when it comes to the activities that I want to do. And sometimes those things are enough to outweigh the issues or the shortcomings in your partner. So I think that in relationships, not everybody's going to have everything together all the time.
That's facts.
And I think that at this point, to where she's 31 or 32, and she says that she does want to have children and she is ready to be married. She came onto this process. She might be weighing her options at this point versus what she's experienced, and might say, you know what, Thomas isn't so bad, and I think we could make this work.
Ooh.
But I will say that if she doesn't want to be the leader in her relationship, it could grow into resentment over time if he doesn't grow these leadership qualities. And I am of the belief that sometimes people grow and sometimes people are stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
And time will only tell if he's stuck in his ways, but how much time is she willing to let go by if this is something that might actually be a deal breaker? And maybe she doesn't know if it is right now.
Ooh. Let me touch on what you just said, right?
Yeah.
About basically, you said something in the main episode that you kind of touched on in this episode, to where she's 32 and she's been through some toxic men.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, you know what? I'm going to try something completely different. And I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket of a nice guy more than anything else. One thing that I've learned, or at least listened to, when it came to a lot of women, especially when they talk about their early years of dating, of why they like the gangsters. Now, listen, I'm from the hood, right? But I'm not going to put myself in the category of gangster, but you know, I was around them. You get what I'm saying? I can see why, now that I'm older, right, or why the young ladies love the gangsters, right? Because they give some type of essence of being a leader. You know, that's why when you hear Camille talk about the swag, I don't think she's so much talking about Jordans, even though I think she is in some way. But I think she's talking like, you really just don't have like you have no presence about you.
Exactly.
Dude,
it's the
you get
presence.
what I'm saying? Like you you don't command nothing.
Exactly.
So if the room is one way, it's gonna be that way when you walk in. Not saying that Thomas have to walk in and say, I am Thomas, everybody stand, and things like that. But there's certain things that it's like Thomas just gives off whatever will be.
Yeah.
Right? And if she's into these toxic men, into these men that she had described as R&B swag, or just, I felt like she couldn't really find the words. And even though by her own, doing, we thought it was like, oh, you don't like Thomas because he ain't blackity black, right? And in some essence, that may be true. But I think there's something to, oh, you like the gangsters because they kind of do whatever they want, right? They come off as if they're a leader. You get what I'm saying? They come off as if they are ambitious. They come off as if they have some type of drive. You get what I'm saying? They don't take no disrespect. They stand for something, even though it's for a lot of bad things. You get what I'm saying? But they stand for something. And now I'm like, oh, okay, Camille, I think I understand you a little better now, right? And Thomas, even though you're not a gangster, I understand. I understand that you are a man and you have a pension and you are, and guess what? You should have your respect just because you are an adult and a man. But I will say, I don't like the fact that you have no opinion. Like, having no opinion is a no-no. And the thing about it is, in a marriage, especially someone who is not used, I'm going to speak for Camille as if I'm her, if she's not used to picking the nice guy, you don't want the shiny object to basically be the opposite of what she picked. Meaning that, hey, I'm going to do something I've never done before, which is kind of crazy to think that the thing you go to do before is marry the nice guy, right? Guess what? What she going to find out? And I hope this is not the case, because I'm not saying that they go cheat on each other. I just don't think it's going to work. But what you don't want is for her to grow resentment, as Blair was saying, because what you go realize is that there are a lot of nice guys who are married who are in charge too. And you don't want her to basically bring home Michael makes sure that this happens and this happens over here. But listen here, I grew up in church. That's all I saw, right? Of older women complaining about their marriages to basically their other friends, comparing their marriages, saying, well, so-and-so does this, so-and-so come to this, so-and-so does that. And I'm like, I think Thomas is putting himself in a position to where she will start looking and starting to see what glitters as gold. And my thing is, as someone who makes decisions all day, right, I can see how one can resent when the other person don't make a decision, right? listen here, there's a lot of y'all, and guess what? I love the comments, but I can tell some of y'all husbands don't know what y'all be commenting on here, right? Y'all like, I'm married to like a husband that just like Thomas. I'm like, okay, wait a minute now, right? But I think if Camille wasn't the type of person to ask for it, then it wouldn't be an issue. I see marriages the way the men don't take the lead, and guess what? The women have no problem taking the lead, and vice versa.
Right.
But the fact that she's asking for it, it's almost as if she's basically asking Thomas to assist and don't make this a regretful decision.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you really can't put that on Thomas because Thomas has shown himself who he is all the way up to the decision day. You chose to say yes, despite the fact that he haven't said where we're going to live, or despite this whole 5-year plan and things like that. I only think out about 5 years. Well, at least it's usually only a year. So don't tell me you think 5 years out, right? And then on top of that, which we go touch on, when you was trying to figure out where we're going to live, he brought up an issue that wasn't an issue in the moment. He basically said, you don't cry enough. And I'm like, well, okay. Now you want to see vulnerability when I'm just asking, where are we going to live?
Yeah. I mean, it is, for me, it's frustrating watching because I appreciate being a passenger princess in my relationship at times.
And she is not a passenger princess. Okay.
Because I am very much a planner, get it done type of person. But the fact that I know that my partner, my husband, Chris here, can do it is comforting to me. That I don't have to do all those things. Like if I decide, hey, I'm not really feeling it today, or whatever the case may be, or communicate something, he'll make sure it gets done. So I think that when it comes to Camille, and like you said, by the fact that she wants her partner to have this quality and Thomas doesn't have it, like she doesn't get the option of opting in or opting out of leadership. It's a thing of, okay, like this is kind of my burden to wear, is that if I'm going to be in this relationship, I'm going to have to carry the burden of leading because it's going to be a burden to her because she doesn't want to do it. And like you said, in other relationships where women take the lead and they like being the boss, they like telling people what to do, then that's absolutely fine for their dynamic, but she doesn't want to do it. And it's frustrating that she's trying to have multiple conversations with him about the same thing. And even the fact that he said that, I have ideas in my head. Why can't you tell me? So I mean, I really don't have much more to say about it other than the fact that Camille, she has to decide if this is a deal breaker or not. And if she accepts Thomas for who he is, then it's going to be a lot of leading on her side. If he can't develop in those ways.
Here's the thing. The only thing I disagree with you is not that I don't think that she don't want to do it. I think she has no problem doing it. I think she don't want to resent him for doing it. Right. I think she's basically saying, if I lead too much, it's gonna be hard for me to respect you. I think she's trying to give him a warning. I think she's trying to give him a yellow flag. One thing I learned about women is, hey, listen, if they have to do it, it will be done. So I think Camille is like, I will do it, but don't expect. Put it like this: if I have to do it, do not expect me to sing on no mic anytime soon. True. Dude, you get what I'm saying? Because I only do that for men's. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I think Thomas. And guess what? It could, even though I do not feel like they're gonna make it long, I do feel like maybe this is the growing pains of relationships. This is not This is not a marriage that had a 5-year relationship to back it. You get what I'm saying?
To actually see the person grow and develop in different ways. It really is taking a chance that it'll get better.
This is a 2-month relationship. You get what I'm saying? A 2-month marriage at that. So maybe I'm stepping out of line of saying it's not going to work. Mind you, they only been together for 2 months. But that's why I said in the main episode of, hey, Thomas, there's no wrong answers, bruh. This is actually the time to give as many answers as wrong answers as possible because y'all only been together for 2 months. The more years you've been in a relationship, then you gotta lessen the wrong answers because now I know my spouse. Blair's not a I wouldn't describe our relationship as a passenger, princess, driver type of thing. I would describe our relationship as you drive your car, I drive my car. You get what I'm saying? Because I have my way of how I want things done. Blair has her way of wanting things done. And guess what? In certain circumstances, it worked perfectly. To where I'm in the passenger seat, she's driving. When she's in the passenger seat, in the passenger seat, she's I'm
driving.
driving, or sometimes we just gotta take separate cars. You get what I'm saying? Because I want to do it completely this way, and for me, I'm the type of person to where I gotta see my plan fail before we completely like scrap it off. You get what I'm saying? So I think with Thomas, I think it's only gonna be hard for her because she is putting her eggs into a basket that she's not used to.
Yeah.
So she still want leadership, but she want leadership from the nice guy, and she don't want to regret picking him. And basically says, "See, that's why I don't pick nice guys because they too nice, you know." But I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I enjoyed watching
Yeah.
their love story throughout the season. It was one of the reprieves from the dramas of the season. And I actually do like when people can overcome their issues to get together and to actually try to learn each other, because at the end of the day, getting into a marriage or long-term partnership with somebody is really learning the other person, and the fact that you guys come from two different backgrounds is trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's hard enough, and to see that they were able to communicate and push past some of their shortcomings was nice to see, and that is kind of what gives me hope that it could improve in the future.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, like I've said, I don't know if I said it in this video or not, but there, you know, when you get married, or at least for me, there was certain things that I'm saying, if this was to never change, I would be so happy, and I'm in a good situation right now. And hopefully with her accepting Thomas for who he is as he is, it is good, and hopefully it only goes up from there.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen, in the comments below, I need y'all to tell me, did y'all marry y'all gangster? Did like y'all marry y'all street dude and things like that?
And what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Did like,
or did you marry the nice guy? What happened there?
Yeah. Listen here, I just need to know, because the thing that gives me trouble is, even though I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse of saying like, yeah, it only been 2 months, I would say, hey, he's 42.
Yeah.
And this is not a young marriage to where he's 25, 23, to where he can change. He's kind of stuck in his ways, right? And Thomas already proven to us that he will suffer in silence, that he will not change in silence. He will accept what it is for 9 years.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So let us know in the comments, is there any such thing as not being a leader in a marriage that is successful? Because I don't think it is. I think there's only bad leaders, not no leaders. You get what I'm saying? Blair's a leader. I am a leader. And we can't drop that mantle at all.
Right.
Basically, us getting married or y'all getting married is basically a vow to basically, hey, I will not drop my part of this relationship forever.
Exactly. We're not Switzerland over here.
No, we're not. Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
Subscribe, like, share, comment. We see y'all.
Bye.